Welcome, Mr. Gnome, and welcome to this crypto update. Now, today is a juicy episode because we have an update on one of the major narratives that will bring capital to crypto and to altcoins to Ethereum during this bull run. And that narrative is staked Ethereum ETFs. So I will talk about this event here. We will talk about other news that we saw throughout my last update. We will look at the fundamentals and the technical analysis at the end of the video. Now, let's actually hop directly into this narrative update here. So BlackRock has filed for a staked Ethereum ETF. And this is not just a new Ethereum ETF. They will convert their existing Ethereum ETF into a staked Ethereum ETF. So this is a major update because it allows Ethereum ETF investors to gain yield basically while holding Ethereum tokens. So this is huge, and here is the SEC filing. And this was such a big update, and it has ramifications across crypto that I will have to make a separate video just talking about this thing here. So look out for that for tomorrow or on Wednesday. I'm not exactly sure when that video will come out, but I will make the video and you will get to enjoy and reap the benefits because I believe it will have an effect on one of my favorite crypto projects on the planet. So look out for that video as well. And by the way, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss miss that video. And then on other news, we got Blockchain Group has acquired 22 Bitcoin worth $2.2 million last week. And then Michael Saylor is promising that he bought Bitcoin last week, so he will announce his Bitcoin purchase in the next 12 to 24 hours. Then World Liberty Financial, which is Donald Trump's crypto project, they spent another $3 million to buy Ethereum again 3 hours ago. And they have bought a total of 70,000 Ethereum so far at an average price of $3,200 with an unrealized profit of $23 million. So right now, Donald Trump has a financial incentive to pump crypto, and that is exactly what he is doing as of now. So talking about World Liberty Financial, the update from there is that the token itself will become tradable in 6 to 8 weeks. And I believe this will be a local top when it actually launches. Usually these kind of events are local tops. For example, in 2025, in January, the Trump meme token basically marked the top of the market. In 2021, the Coinbase IPO marked the local top. And in 2017, the launch of Bitcoin CME futures marked the top of the bull market. And in 2021 or 2022, I don't exactly remember, but basically when the NFT, the big NFT sold for $91 million, which is the largest NFT sale ever, after that, basically the whole NFT market just collapsed. So usually events like this are a local top, but then markets always recover. I don't know if it will take a week, a month, a year, but eventually we will go back to the upside. But I do expect this to be a local top. So we basically have 1 to 2 months until that happens, and then there will be a local top most likely. So now is the time to make money. And still talking about WLFI, basically taking a little bit wind from the statement I just gave there is that WLFI is now dispelling some rumors that co-founders, team, and advisor tokens, they will not unlock upon launch. So they are committed to fairness and building trust from day one. So I believe they do actually plan for long term because WLFI is basically Donald Trump's central bank project for crypto. So this is going to be one of his legacy projects, trying to grab power and financial control of the markets and basically monopolize the market in that way. So that's his big project there, but we can also make money from this. So it's basically a Trojan horse, but it's also bullish. So it's this and that at the same time. But all in all, they don't sell these tokens on the day one, but I believe that all of them, co-founders, team members, and advisors, have bought WLFI tokens on the pre-sale when it was available. So I believe they will be selling some of those tokens at least. So even though they are not selling their own tokens, I do believe that they will still sell some of their tokens that they own through the pre-sale. But at the same time, they also will announce a WLFI reward program on day one, and they will have major exchange listings on day one as well, which will basically limit the dumping on that day, which is, in my opinion, a good thing because it shows or at least implicates that they have thought a little bit of the release. So all in all, this is one of the biggest releases in crypto that will ever happen. And right now, I believe that is the reason why this might be a local top, but the dump may not be that deep. So we might continue the bull market after this event anyway. So I will keep that as a possibility, but I will still basically mentally prepare that I have to make as much money as possible in the next 1 to 2 months. And after that, I can relax a little bit. That's my current plan at least. Then, still talking about White House, there was the Genius Act and the two other crypto proposals that passed, and there was the event in the White House. So Donald Trump has said this: "I pledge that we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. The Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stablecoins." President Trump. So in my opinion, this is again a Trojan horse. It's basically a central bank digital currency, except it's not owned by the government. It is a private entity that controls this whole ecosystem, and that is obviously the Trump insiders, the WLFI team, and the Tether team, and the Circle team. And here you can see the Winklevoss is behind here. Then you have the Coinbase CEO here, Brian Armstrong, and then you have Sergey from Chainlink also giving a handshake to President Trump here. And obviously, after this, the price of Chainlink went up and it's now trading somewhere north of $19 as of now. And then also, Donald Trump went ahead and personally thanked the CEO of Tether here. You can see Paolo Ardoino is standing up here and everybody is giving applause to him. So that was an interesting event because there has been a lot of FUD on USDT and Tether for basically since it started, and now is basically part of the White House team as well. So all in all, crypto is becoming centralized, and at the same time, decentralization grows. So both of these trends basically continue side by side, but the centralization is now basically where the money is coming from. Then after that, and this is what I've been predicting for you guys for a long time already, is that Donald Trump wants to pump Bitcoin. Obviously, he has the financial incentive through owning part of the WLFI, but also because he's Trump, the Trump company, the DJT, it has acquired $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin previously, and then they applied for another round of $12 billion. And some of that money they will buy Bitcoin with it, and maybe some of that money they will buy other crypto assets. And once they have finalized that deal, I told you guys that Donald Trump will come out and start promoting Bitcoin, start promoting crypto, because he then has a financial incentive to pump those assets to the upside. So now Donald Trump has posted this on Truth Social, the greatest Bitcoin explanation of all time, on his social media. So from now on, for the next 1 to 2 months, I believe Trump will be trying to pump this as much upwards as possible. All of the Epstein stuff will be put to the sidelines when you have a bull market, obviously. So he has multiple incentives to do this at the same time, to basically sideline all of the negative press and also to pump his own bags at the same time. Then looking at the Google Trends, I do get a little bit worried here that the crypto here on the chart is now at number 18. So in 2021, in February here, sorry, at the end of January, basically at the height of the bull market, when Donald Trump, the Trump token was launched, crypto was in Google Trends at number 25. So we're basically approaching that same mania level. So that is worrying to me. Meanwhile, Bitcoin does not show almost any hype here on Google Trends as of now. It's only at 25, whereas Bitcoin was trading basically at 65 at the height of November when Donald Trump became president. So not hype on Bitcoin, but on crypto, there's quite a bit of hype. And then when we take a look at Bitcoin ETFs, we saw more inflows here, $363 million on a Friday. So that was nice. But as you can see, these are actually diminishing, unfortunately. But on Ethereum ETFs, I showed you guys this, that Ethereum ETFs are just blowing up. And I believe this is because ETFs are now anticipating that the staking will go live and it will be added to the Ethereum ETFs. So Ethereum is now basically where most of the action is at. Now looking at fundamentals, first looking at the supply of Bitcoin on exchange reserves, I told you guys that there was this spike to the upside, but since then Bitcoin is again leaving exchanges, basically indicating that there is more demand than there is sellers. So fundamentally, this is good, but it doesn't prevent a short-term crash. So a short-term crash could still happen, but all in all, this is fundamentally good that we're seeing Bitcoin being taken out of exchanges, despite some investors wanting to sell it. Then on market cap of stablecoins, we saw a little bit more minting here on Friday, almost a full $1 billion on Friday alone. So I believe this will continue to grow this week. So obviously there was a pause during the weekend. So maybe this will grow this week. We'll see. And throughout last week and the weekend, basically no old Bitcoin wallets were selling. So again, fundamentally, this is extremely good. We're not seeing hype on Bitcoin, as well as old wallets are currently not selling at these price levels. So that is again a good signal fundamentally. So fundamentally speaking, Bitcoin looks quite good, but then when we take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, this is not as good. So looking at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, this shows us liquidation levels where futures traders would get liquidated. And most of the liquidations would currently happen basically below the current price range at $115,000 all the way down to $113,000. The only good news here is that we are seeing liquidations piling up here above the current price range, but not unfortunately above the all-time high here as of now. So as of now, it doesn't seem like Bitcoin is ready to push for a new all-time high this week yet. So most likely, Bitcoin wants to tag this liquidity zone first before we have another all-time high based on this data here. And then looking at the spot order book depth, we are seeing the selling pressure basically mounting up here on the spot order books, and also the buy pressure is basically easing up as well, which is now giving us a delta of more selling, about $100 million more sell orders within a 3% price of the current within a 3% price move of the current price point than limit buy orders. So sellers are basically currently in control of the order books. So probably again this is supporting the idea that we would go down before a new all-time high. Futures markets, on the other hand, they are taking longs and shorts at the same time, so they are undecided where Bitcoin would like to go, currently leaning towards selling. So in the short term, we could see, or maybe by Wednesday, we could see that liquidation zone being taken out, and that would be basically a nice buy area probably. So now going into the charts here, basically taking this all in my last week, I told you guys that it's likely Bitcoin will go sideways and altcoins will go up, and that is exactly what happened. And this week, I believe Bitcoin is ready to get out of this range. So this idea here that Bitcoin would go to 130K and then go to this price level, I don't think that will happen. I think it's more likely that Bitcoin will do something like this in something like this week. So we may go and tag like a double top here in 120K. That is possibility because we had this liquidation zone here. Then it's likely we go to that 113K level. Now we could go there directly, but in both situations, I believe we would go down first, and then hopefully this price level will stick. Because if this price level sticks, that will give us a perfect inverse head and shoulders. Basically, the left shoulder here, here is the head, and here is the right head, and then usually we have a retouch of that pattern, and from there we basically go upwards. So if we have this move 113K, 114K, that would also complete this pattern here, and then that price level will most likely hold, and when it does, then we shoot upwards. So consider having some buy orders around this price level here, because it's likely that we have a bounce from there and then we go higher. And if Bitcoin goes to 121K first, it doesn't really matter. The both scenarios basically take Bitcoin to the same place. So this week I'm not expecting a lot of uh, uh, like hurrahs and yays from the market. What I could even expect is when we take a look at Bitcoin dominance chart, which has just been fallen off a cliff last week from altcoins basically pumping. When you take a look at the RSI here on the on the Bitcoin dominance chart, this is now trading below 15. Is now RSI is at 12, so massively at oversold territory. So if we see a flush out on the altcoin market, while the Bitcoin goes to the downside, we could see a move here on the Bitcoin dominance chart, and then uh, we could see Ethereum actually towards the start of August to basically start breaking through the all-time high, and then we have that mania phase basically until WLFI launches. That's kind of my current idea, something like this on the Bitcoin dominance chart, and then if or when WLFI launches, um, well, we could have a sustained bull market, obviously, on altcoins. I'm not exactly sure yet, so I have to wait and see and basically fine tune my idea for that. But as of now, I believe that Bitcoin will be outperforming altcoins this week, and most likely Bitcoin will have a breather, altcoins will have a pullback, and then maybe later this week or start of next week, we will have those legs to the upside finally. So basically, that's my idea as of now. Now, saying all of this, I do want to give a shout out to myself on my copy trading account. So, unfortunately, for many people who were following me on this channel, I made long orders, long positions on LDO way too soon. And I wasn't expecting LDO to drop to all the way to 60 cents. And when it did, I almost blew up this copy trading account. But I do have an update here that this account is now up almost 700% in the last 90 days since basically almost blowing up this account. And now I'm basically back where I started this account with. I initially funded it with $5,000. So I'm now basically at the plus minus zero almost. So my plan for the next 1 to 2 months is to be quite aggressive. There might be some drawdowns here, but I hope to double, triple, and quadruple this account over the next couple of months. So let's see how that goes. If you want to join in on this action, you can copy my trades on bybit.com. I will link the link into this copy trading account in the description if you want to follow, but that is at your own risk. if you do so. I almost already blew this account up by being quite aggressive, but if my idea plans out, then my idea is to take less risky trades after that couple of months when WLFI finally launches. So that's basically my plan going further, and I hope you guys got value out of this video. And just a reminder, make sure to subscribe to the channel and maybe even put on the notifications so you will see my next video on the stake Ethereum ETF research that I did, and it will probably blow your mind as well. Thanks for watching this video. I will see you on the next one, and bye bye.